Hey, hello, my friend, and a very blessed Thursday, April 10th, 2025, to you and to yours. I pray that this finds you well from wherever and whenever you are tuning in. So, I hate junk mail. Now, I know that's antithetical to the message that I have been peddling lately, being that I just published a book titled Created for Love. But I do hate junk mail in all its forms, whether it's physical junk mail that comes in my physical mailbox or electronic junk mail that comes in my electronic mailbox, aka email. And it always seems like there's more junk mail either way than the mail that is important, and it's a pain to sift through the seemingly mountainous piles or lines of junk mail just to get to the mail that I need. But as much as I hate junk mail, I have to admit and remind myself that at some point in time, whether intentionally or inadvertently, I did subscribe or I did opt in to receive the said mail. So you might be wondering where I'm going with this. Well, in my interactions with friends and acquaintances lately, I hear a lot of the same concerns and even complaints. A lot of it surrounds the economy and the state of things as far as that goes, the rising cost of goods and services. With some people, it's dissatisfaction about the current administration and the policies that are going forth. And by the way, this sentiment is the same no matter who is in power. So just generally a concern and dissatisfaction with the state of things. Now, let me be the first to say I hear you, I feel you, I live in the same world as you. And while I am not one to bury my head in the sand and ignore reality and external circumstances or the facts, after all, the facts are the facts, right? However, I am growing increasingly aware that external circumstances, aka the facts, are typically not the only truth. They tend to be the truth that we focus on most, but they are not the only reality. You see, both scarcity and abundance are two sides of the same coin. So is wholeness and lack. So is life and death. So is truth and falsehood. They are two sides, and allow me to say, two opposite sides of the same coin. And do you know which side you and I get, or the side that gets to influence us? It's the side that we choose to focus on. One of my favorite movies of all time is Forrest Gump. And hands down, one of my favorite lines in that movie is the line that says that life is like a box of chocolates. We don't know which one it is that we're going to get. And yes, while it is true that we cannot dictate and control every circumstance and everything that comes our way, our biggest power is the power to choose our perspective, our attitude, and our focus. You know what's cool about junk mail? Is that even though at some point I did opt in and subscribe, I can at any time choose to opt out and unsubscribe. So, what are maybe some of the truths that maybe you have opted into or that you have subscribed into that tell you that things are really, really bad and which you can opt out of? So, let me give you a practical example. Every morning when you and I wake up, we have a choice as to which mailbox, as to which mail to opt into. You can choose to opt into the mail that comes every morning on your news feed from the news agency that you watch. And by and large, you know what they say, but good news is no news. A lot of what you're going to get in your news feed will tell you that the earth and the sky are falling. Or you can choose to opt in, say, like in my case, to the truth of Scripture. Psalms 23 says that the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. That promise is not economy or administration dependent. It holds true in any economy, in any administration. And it's up to me to choose whether I will focus on, quote unquote, the reality or on the promise of God. And here's what I have found, that when I choose to focus on influences that build me up and that encourage me, at the very least, it takes me out of victim mode. You know that stance that demands that everything and everyone outside of us change before we can change and before our lives can be better? But focusing on the positive empowers me, if nothing else, to stop being a victim and to embrace the powerful creator of my circumstances that I am. And at the very least, I can stop looking at the problem and start being solution focused. So, my friend, what is the junk mail? Literal and, in my case here, figurative, that you have opted into? You can just as readily decide to unsubscribe, to opt out of that feed of mail and intentionally subscribe to thoughts, to ideas, and to the other side of the coin, if you will, of truth that empowers you to be, to do, and to have all that God has created for you. Hey, listen, at the beginning I talked about the book that I have just written, Created for Love. In a world where we are so often tempted to choose hate and division, I pray that you and I will intentionally choose the opposite side of that coin and choose to receive God's love and be a conduit for that, of that same love, into the world. If you'd like some more ideas on how to do that, check out my new book, Created for Love, 4 Keys to a Life of Purpose and Fulfillment. You can see details and order on my website, www.evanskamuru.com. Hey, listen, until next time, opt in and subscribe wisely, and God bless.